Says I'm live. Hit the refresh.
All right.
There we go.
Would it help if I hit that arrow?
Sometimes yeah, go ahead, hit
Okay,
that.
let's try it and see what goes on here. Oh,
But it's vertical. It's not horizontal. And I don't understand why it keeps wanting to have me.
I don't know. At least they can see you.
But are you?
Jean says, let's keep going with this live.
Oh,
Okay.
but wait. I want to just see. Okay, I'm gonna stick my hand in because see how it's wiggling and stuff?
Yeah.
Nothing's wiggling here.
Huh.
So I wanna. I don't think.
7 are watching now.
Okay, try to refresh again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then go to live chat. Right.
Right here.
No, this is top chat.
Oh, right here. Got it. Oh, it's not wiggling anymore. Is it looking good on our side, Jean says?
Can you hear me? Well, I'm going to get started in pretending like you do hear me. I realize that it's vertical instead of horizontal, and I'm sorry. I've done everything I know how to prevent that. So, okay, I'm hearing the feedback, so let me fix that.
That's me. Let me turn this off. Oops, that didn't work there.
Yeah, maybe you should let me do that.
Okay, oopsie. This will turn off the sound on your side. Okay.
Okay, I'm back again. And Robin is at the laptop, and so she can let me know what you guys, if you have questions. But what I thought we would do is some leaves, watercolor leaves. And like I said, I realize you guys are seeing me at the wrong angle, and I'm sorry. Do you want me to try to turn it around? I can. Okay. You guys are my friends. You won't mind. Susie, you're funny.
Loud and clear, Kathleen.
Yes, she said. Okay, let me turn you around. My whole boom arm, though, is the wrong way for it. Hang on. I'm going to put you on the ground. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know that I can do it.
That's looking good.
It should look black.
It's black at the moment.
Yeah. Well, talk to the nice people. Talk amongst yourselves. Because I've got to change my whole setup here. Okay.
Jean says she wants you to know she's trying her own version of Dancing Ladies.
Good. So does it look right to you?
Yeah, you just need that wire. You've got a wire.
Yes. Well, I got to clamp it on.
Just a little at an angle. There you go.
Talk to the nice people.
I did.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. How do you guys feel about this setup? Okay, I've got my Amazon Basics paper. It's the 12 by 9. So I cut them in half. So now they're 6 by 9. And let's work on some leaves. How does that sound? I'm going to start out with, I've got my Rosa Gallery paints. And I'm sorry you can't see them because of I've got to teach YouTube that I am qualified to do a horizontal as well as a vertical. It won't let me do, well, we'll see, but not today. Okay, I'm going to start out with my number 6 snap. I've got 2 water supplies, and I'm just going to draw with my brush 2 loose stems, 1 and 2. And we're going to start out with some, what I call shadow leaves. So I'm mixing up some sepia, which is, this one to me is more like a burnt sienna than a sepia, but that's what Rosa Gallery calls it. And to that, I'm going to add just a hint of green. And I want this pretty watery. And we're going to make, first off, the stem. So it's sunk in already. That's okay. We're just going to go right along. There we go. Couple of stems. Now we want these leaves to be simple because I want you to feel like you can do this. So the shadow leaves are going to be the most behind leaves. And I'm working on the picture from as far away to close up. And I'm just going to make the tiniest of little stem. And then I'm going to make a leaf shape. And the tiniest of stem and a leaf shape. Now, Robin, I don't know what's going on in chat.
Okay.
Like, is anybody?
Want me to refresh?
No, I can't see chat.
Okay. Susie Allen says everyone has that problem at first. Hi, Julie, Eddie says.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
Heart is on.
Yeah, for those of you that are here, I can't see chat, but Robin's on my laptop, so she's helping me to kind of be my eyes over there. But I'm just making a tiny little stem and then a leaf shape. Now the leaves theoretically should be bigger on the bottom of the stem than the top. So we'll just make this a little bit bigger. There. And let's put some over here. Little stem. And don't worry about having these almond shapes not all be the same because they're going to be facing you. They're going to be facing me. They're going to be facing behind. A squirrel stepped on one. There's just going to be a little bit of everything going on. if you have questions or if you've got a comment, Robin will let me know what it is. Can you guys see me painting? So how many people are in the chat, Robin?
We have 16
Oh my,
watching.
oh my stars.
Yep. Celine just said, yes, we see you.
Yay.
And Jean said, yes, we can.
Yay. Well, like I said, YouTube seems to think that I can only do vertical, but I do have the qualifications and I did set it on horizontal, but we're just going to work with vertical. Okay. Needs a few more shadow leaves. Going back into the sepia. Remember how dark that was?
Devin says hi again, Julie.
Hello.
And Susie Allen said, yes, it's perfect.
Oh, of course, Susie. Thank you. Susie, you're a dear heart. Susie has been with me since way, way back when I was having 3 people look at a video. Now, these leaves might be a little bit of a different color. We don't care. We don't care. The light comes in at different angles. Anything's possible.
Carver just joined.
Yay! Hi, Carver. I can't see the chat, Carver, but my girlfriend Robin is letting me know what's going on. We're practicing now, Robin and I, because she's very computer literate. She just does not.
Yeah.
No, Robin, you are. I mean, Robin has done entire classes on Zoom. Robin's a teacher, and she's done classes that I've attended. So, I mean, neither one of us are familiar with the YouTube live stream, but we are not unable to learn. I'm just kind of dressing up some of these little leaves.
Dorothy from Vancouver, Washington just came in.
Hey, Dorothy. God bless you. You are so kind to be coming in on a weekday like this. You guys had lunch? Robin and I haven't had lunch, but I told Robin, bless her heart, Robin is working so hard to help me. You guys know I've been sick. What was that, Robin? I didn't mean to.
14 are watching.
Is that wonderful?
Eddie said, I need some lunch for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, Eddie, depending on what happens with like super chat or that kind of thing, Robin and I, maybe we can hop a plane and come see you, Eddie, and we'll take you out to lunch. Wouldn't that be fun? Eddie's in Boston. Oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, well.
Susie just had pancakes and sausage.
Delicious. Robin and I had breakfast. Well, no, I had breakfast. When was that, Robin? Tuesday? I had breakfast for lunch, and Robin had a delicious Reuben. It stayed with her all day.
Eddie said it would be best. He's commenting about us coming and seeing him.
Yeah, we will. If we get enough. If we get enough in super chat, sure, we'll come to Boston.
Devin says maybe you can fly up here too.
Okay, Devin, where are you?
Eddie says everyone knows where I live.
Yeah, me too. I mean, everyone knows that I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay, so what do you think of our shadow leaves? I am now got over here, I mixed up another green, and I just used this color that they call green. Very inventive. I'm adding some water, and I'm going to lighten it up a little bit with some of this yellow ochre. I probably need more. Let's get some more yellow ochre. So what I think can really make leaves is, of course, the variations in the colors. I'm just drying my brush off a little bit. It's awfully wet. But also these little stems. I think that just helps. Now, if you have my printables, I'm gonna be putting another stem in, okay? Whoo. Okay. when I'm doing printables, I don't always put those, well, I don't put those little lines in because who can cut them out, right? So now we've got another color, but just a little stem. And I'm just making a kind of an almond shape, keeping her simple. But you can see I picked another color. And these are going to go right on top. As far as what's going on underneath, I'm ignoring it. Totally ignoring it. If I go on top, fine. If I don't, well, that's okay too. So those of you who just joined, Robin is at the keyboard and she's watching the chat for me. And I am just painting away and jibber jabbering like a magpie.
Devin said he's not used to vertical live. He's watching on his phone. And
Ah.
Johnny just joined us.
Who-
Johnny, 16 are watching now.
Yay. That's so nice. Very nice.
Those are lovely, Julie.
Oh, thank you. One of the nice things about watercoloring, and I hope you can see, I'm just wash, rinse, repeat. I'm just doing the same thing over and over. Sometimes everything is just not as thrilling as can be. It's just things like repeating a process or dry time.
19 are watching now.
Oh my. You guys are great. Very encouraging. And you guys, I know it says my name, but that's Robin at the keyboard. And thank her for, she has been a godsend, has helped me with my arthritic body. And then I, of course, in the midst of it all, caught another cold. So if it wasn't for Robin, I wouldn't be here right this minute with you doing a live because I wouldn't know how.
I said, you guys are great. Thanks, everyone, for being with us.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you for being with
Devin
us.
says, I find watercolor very meditative.
So do
This is
I.
great. This is great, Julie.
So do I, Devin. I find it very relaxing. And you know, one of the best ways for watercolor to help you relax is have no expectations. Just go with it. And if it turns out great, hang it on the wall. If it turns out awful, turn it over and work on the other side.
Jean said, thanks, Robin. I got the cold back also.
Oh boy. Okay, so there's our third. Should we put one more in? I think so too. Now,
Thanks for taking care of our Julie.
that's right. Okay, so here's the color I just used. I'm going into this emerald green, which to me is more like a phthalo green. Look at that. That is phthalo green, if I've ever seen it. That's why you want to swatch, because boy, these colors can really fool you. Okay, now we're going to make one more. Here we go. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, there we go. All right, another bunch of leaves. Now I did not tape my paper down because I'm not planning on saturating my whole paper. But you know, when we're doing whole backgrounds and we're just laying lots of watercolor, well, then the paper's going to want to warp. And that's why I like to tape it down.
Devin likes the sound effects.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, it helps. Sure does. Now, even though these leaves are different colors, our brain is going to accept them, you know, and that's what's fun. And we're not doing any shading. We're not putting in any veins. This is just so easy.
Susie likes the pretty color that you're putting on.
So that is called emerald green. But as I say, if you're looking for this color, like I know Susie likes to do acrylics. It's a phthalo. It's a phthalo green.
Jean is asking, do we need to have other leaves? Let's see, do we need two other leaves is odd numbers.
You know what? Nature does not do that. Odd numbers, even numbers.
Yeah, that's
If it makes you though more comfortable, because when you have an even number, the brain will attempt to sort it. So if you have 4, it'll try to make a box. If you have 6, it'll try to make line things up like a domino. But when you have odd numbers, the brain just leaves it. So when you have 3 or 5, so that's why a lot of artists like to go with. Now, if you're trying to make real leaves, real things, like for instance, a rose, there is a predictable way that rose leaves fall. It's like the first bract of leaves is 3, then the next one is 5. And yeah, I mean, if you're trying to do that kind of realism, then you're going to want to. Can you see that my brush is drying out? We need a little water. Then you're going to want to study, go to Google, get some rose images, rose leaves images, or whatever leaves you're working with. But I'm just making leaves on a stick.
Susie said, I was painting with my granddaughter and taught her write tap, tap. My son-in-law was impressed.
Yeah.
And I asked Jean if that answered her question. She said, yes, thanks for the explanation. You explained so well, said Dorothy.
Oh, you are all too kind. I'm going to get a little water on the brush and put it right in the paint because as quick as we go, this paint will dry right in the tin. Sure. So we've been at this for a minute. How long have we been here, Robin?
You've been here for 22 minutes.
See?
19 are watching now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's exciting. Well, if you like live streams, I will work on number 1, getting it to the proper orientation. And I will work with Robin and we'll get it because Robin's going to go home soon. Boo. But Robin can help me out even from where she lives. And she's on the east side of the state. I'm on the west side of the state. Okay. Should we do one more on this page? I mean, I've got more paper ready. Let's go rogue. Let's throw a monkey wrench in it. I'm going to go right in here to this cad yellow. Now, this cad yellow and most cad yellows, and I've got some yellow, there might be a little orange or something in there, we don't care. They tend to be less transparent. Let's just stick a branch of yellow in here. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Okay. Now, I'm giving this a turn. I hope you can still see me. And let's start with some yellow leaves.
Devin says, woo.
That's right.
He likes you.
Devin is a she.
Oh, terribly sorry, Devin.
I don't know if they can hear you, Robin.
That's okay.
But
tell him I apologize. I apologize.
Robin apologizes, Devin, for calling you a he.
No problem, Robin.
So nice. So what do you think of the yellow leaves now? Can you see what a difference? I mean, it just adds a whole new dimension to this little project, doesn't it? And like I said, whatever's underneath, I'm ignoring it. I'm just painting right on top. And yes, watercolors do react and come back when they get wet. But if your watercolor's dry underneath, and things are drying up fast here today, then you would have to really give it a scrub. But I am using watercolor paper, so that helps. Mixed media paper, pretty much you'll be okay. I think that with mixed media paper, a little bit more chance of a warping. Any of the mixed media papers I've used, but that's one of the biggest differences is especially if you saturate the whole sheet of paper. I'm liking the yellow. I don't know about you guys, but I am liking this yellow. I just added a little more water to my paint. Try to go a little bit bigger. Doesn't it surprise you though that I picked yellow? You know, you can paint things any way you want. And let me tell you something. Go over to Michael's, go over to Hobby Lobby, and take a look at what they have for stems of leaves. Every color in the rainbow.
Jean loves the yellow.
I do too, Jean. There we go. Okay. All right, while you guys are watching me finish up these last few leaves, let Robin know in the chat, what do you want to see next? We'll do one more. Maybe you want to see the fantasy flowers. Maybe you want to see some roses. Maybe you want to see a landscape. No, I cannot paint a picture of your dog, but just think about something you know that I've already done.
Oh, Eddie says the silk flowers and stems are great to study the construction of the flower.
It's true, Eddie. It's very true. Artificial flowers anymore can be very hard to know if they're real or not. Really can. But look at in this area. See, I think this area with all the different colors and yet the different transparent amounts and the luminosity, I just think it's really pretty. It's made our own focal point right there. I'm going to put a little more water, and I want these bottom leaves to be just a little bit bigger. One more. There we have it. Now, we could go to town. We could put veins, we could put thorns, we could put all kinds of stuff. But what I'm going to do to just kind of loosen it up a little bit, I'm getting my same old number 6 that you've been watching me use. I'm going into the leftover yellow right here, grabbing another brush, and I'm just going to give it some yellow splatters.
Excuse me, Julie?
Yes.
Said make some roses, and Susie says this is lovely, Julie.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. Roses it is. There we go. Some nice yellow splatters. Maybe you can see them. Maybe you can't. I don't know. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this green, the same green we use, and do the same thing, but just towards the bottom.
Yep, Dorothy wants roses. Roses it is.
Roses. We are going to do some roses right now. Okay, I'm going to set this aside, let her dry. Same thing. This is a 6x9 Amazon basic watercolor paper. I think it works great. I'm going to stick with the same number 6 round. And I've got the Rosa Gallery paints. And I'm going to start with the carmine color right there. And I'm going to take my mister and I'm going to mist up these metallics. And maybe maybe we'll make some of those fun roses that you can buy in the gas station that have a little gold glitter on them.
Jean had said, my plan is to paint the large painting, then cut them into 4 pieces and put them on card fronts.
See, that is a beautiful way to use your watercolors. Artist trading cards, but greeting cards, yes. All right, let's get this out. Let's get my little palette out here. I am going into water and that carmine red, but I want it almost to look pink in my dish. Good. Now, rinsing my brush. Tap, tap on the paper towel, getting some pigment, and I'm just going to make an irregular shaped circle. Just like that. Fill it in. I hope you guys are all doing well. I appreciate that you're here so much. Robin and I were listening to the lawn guys, and today, you know, those of you that watch my videos, Tuesday is normally when the lawn guys show up. I'm just getting a little more of that carmine and putting it in my dish, and I'm just going to repeat the same process you just saw me do a couple times here. And they may not be the exact same value. You know, one might be a little bit darker or a little bit light. That's okay. We're not worrying about it. But yeah, here is Thursday, and here comes the lawn guys. And then I was thinking, well, we've had a lot of rain this week, and we've needed it. So, and it's been a gentle rain. It's been a slow rain. We didn't have flooding. The Grand River is not overflowing its banks. I'm going to round this out just a little bit here and here. All right, there's 2 blobs. One more. Do that. Make it a odd number so that our brains don't try to pair everything up like it does. Okay.
You have 20 watching now, Julie.
Oh, my stars. Well, welcome. Welcome to my very first in my life live stream. Isn't that something? It's not often that I have somebody that can help me.
Kim just came on and said hello, Julie.
Well, hello, Kim. Kim is from Michigan, Robin.
Oh, wonderful.
Just like you, yeah. Just like me. Okay, now, this rose is almost dry. Not quite, but I'm just gonna, you know, obviously no editing, so I'm just gonna give it a quick hit. Let's give this one and this one. There we go. Just a little bit of help. Now, I'm gonna take that same brush. I'm gonna take the same carmine as the color. Got some water on my brush, and now I'm gonna darken it down a little bit. Okay. And all I did was add more pigment, less water. Rinsing my brush, dab, dab on the paper towel, going back in, picking up a little paint. And now I'm going to start with 2 C shapes, forward C, backward C. And now I'm just going to make wiggle, wiggle lines, but where they're broken, like between here, then the next row will go across like bricks. Just like that. And again, these are not photorealistic roses, but I think they turn out fun. A little bit here. And I'm just picking up paint with the very tip of my brush. Okay, bigger. So I'm pressing down and then releasing, lifting the brush up at the end of the stroke. And there.
All your friends are talking to each other.
Yeah, they do. They do. They have a nice little visit.
They do. Susie says, I love the live interaction.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's fun.
Aw, they give you a heart.
Oh, good. I love you guys too.
Ooh, they're really liking what you're doing.
Oh, good.
My heart's all over the place.
Yay. Okay, I'm going to start on another one over here. This is not done. That's just partly done. Okay, here we go. Little C shape, little C shape. Press light, light, press light, light, press light. And here we go, round and round. Yay. A little more pigment. And I like the way the first rose doesn't look like the second rose, and the second rose isn't going to look like the third rose. And if someone is kind enough to give you a dozen roses, none of them look the same. Oh, you can tell they're all roses. You might be able to tell that they're all Belgian roses, but they're all different. So see, here was a break. So now I put this one trying to act kind of like bricks so that, there we go. Okay, this one looks more like a cabbage rose. Let's do one more. I just added a little bit of water because my paint's getting dry. I'm going to turn this around. So hang on to your lunch. I'm going to turn it around and work over here. Little C shape, little C shape. And light, press, light, light, press, light, light, press, light, light, press, light. And the little one here. Light, press, light.
More hearts. They love what you're doing.
Oh, I love them. I love you, Robin. Thank you. Couldn't do this without you. And here we go. So today is Thursday. On Saturday, Robin and I are going to go to an art show where one of our mutual friends, Liz, is going to be not demonstrating, but she'll be having a booth there. And she does the most fascinating things. She works on those pieces of fungus that grow on the edge of a tree. They're related to mushrooms. And she picks them and she lets them dry. She lives in a real woody area. Rinsing, dab, dab. Now, I'm going into madder red, which is a little bit darker. And I am not going to thin it all way down. Now, some of these roses are going to be a little bit wetter than others. So I'm going to turn us back around. And maybe it'll bleed a little, maybe it won't. But I'm just going to put a little bit of this darker red here, there, here, there. No particular pattern or rule or anything. I'm just, especially if I'm seeing a lot of the undercolor, I'm just filling in some space. And this paint is pretty dry. And my brush is pretty dry. Now, one thing I've learned about this style of rose, and also it could be the Rosa Gallery paints, I like the way they look better when they're thoroughly dry. I don't know why, but it's happened more than once with me in these paints and this style of watercolor roses.
Kim says beautiful.
Oh, Kim, thank you. She's a Michigander.
Susie says, I've seen those painted before. They look like oyster mushrooms.
Yes, that's the one, Susie. And she uses a wood burning tool. But her name is Liz Donahue, and she's on Facebook. You can look her up. I think it's under Liz Illustrations, but she has illustrated some children's books to die for. So beautiful. She does watercolor and mixed media, but she's also a school teacher. She teaches, I think right now she's teaching K through 8 art. She's an art teacher. Okay, now let's work on this one. Nice. I just put the tip of my brush in the water, and then I put the tip in the paint. So I'm just working with a tiny bit. If there's a way that you make your roses, send me the link. Send me the...
Joined.
Who did?
Joyce.
Oh, hello, Joyce. Welcome. Send me the little Pinterest. Send me whatever it is where you saw a favorite way to make a rose.
Dragon AZD is here too.
Oh, hello.
Shadow Wings.
Yes, she was a winner of one of my giveaways. She sure was. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to turn it around and we're going to do a little bit more dark on this one. There we go. Whoosh. So these roses today are like three layers. Tip of my brush in the water, picking up some of that madder red.
Barbara Chicken Pie Society just came in. Julie, so nice to catch you live. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I just said, if you just joined, this is Robin helping with the chat.
Yeah.
Kim wants to know, will you be cutting these out for a journal?
I may make a picture of them. I may scan them. Yeah, scan them, and then use them in a journal or use them in a bookmark or something like that. But as long as we've got a few friends here, I'm gonna add a couple leaves and maybe some little flowers. We're gonna have some fun with this. But
21 are now watching. You've been on 43 minutes.
oh my. Well, thank you everyone that's here. It's very encouraging. Okay, we're going to let those rest a minute. And I am going to take a color that we don't necessarily have. Let's go with violet. And they call this violet, I call it dioxazine purple. Look at how dark that is. Can you see that? I mean, that is like dark, like almost black. And let's get a little piece of paper. And I'm giving those guys a cover. Some water. And
Joni said, had to go put chicken in the crock pot. Roses are looking good.
yay. Okay, I'm going to get away from my number 6 brush. We've used that for 45 minutes. And I'm going to pick a little bit smaller. This one is a number 2. And just using water and the paint that I just splattered, I'm going to start making some little flowers. I'm just picking out some. And I'm just doing like, almost like a W, but with too many. So like woo, 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 like that. Woo, 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 woo. And I'm just going to have them all pretty much facing kind of the same way. Can you see me? It's making some little purple flowers. I just put a little water on the tip of my brush. Now there is a pretty big puddle. So I'm just going to pick it up now with a dry brush. That way it'll dry while we're still doing the live stream. I added a little pigment to my brush. I'm going to add a few that are going to be darker. And I'm just putting the very tip. Now see, water came down my brush, which is fine, but I just dabbed it on the paper towel.
Dorothy said, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you, Dorothy. Okay, I liking those. Now I'm going to, well, look what Julie did. What is this big blob of water? That's okay. And now I smeared it. That's normal. We'll just turn it into a petal. There we go. See? Nothing to cry about. Just turn it into part of the flower. That's the one place that we're going to wonder, how do we do that? How did I do that so nice? Okay, back to the number 2 brush. I'm going to add just a few more random. Okay, now, liner brush. I've got 2 now. I've got this liner brush. Maybe I didn't pull the other one out, but I do have 2 now. Because they're handy. So I got one that's a little different size. But this one, I think it's a 0.2. But I'm going to dig into one of our greens. And I'm going to not be thinking about the roses right now. And I'm just going to get some little branch action going on with these guys. Here we go. Shoo. There we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stems so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 stems so far. It's not an exact science. But some of these can just attach to each other. You try to avoid having little branches coming off that just don't seem to go anywhere. That little wild one all by itself. And here's another wild one all by itself. That's fine. Look at that. Now, you can do this. You haven't seen me do any fancy dancy brush strokes or using crazy equipment. Nope. You can do it. Okay. Do I see any floating flowers? I don't think so. I think we captured them all. So I'm just going to keep this liner brush going into this little green mixture that we had. And I'm just going to add some real tiny leaves. Just here or there. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Robin, has anyone left to go eat their lunch?
No one that I'm aware of. Nope, just Joni had to go put her chicken in the crock pot.
Well, sure she did. There. I think I'm just going to make like a little line. Doot, doot, doot. Just way up near the tops. Doot. Where maybe it's thinking about making a leaf, but not sure.
Lydia says, hi, glad you are back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lydia. A little bigger leaf down here. All right. I'm liking this. Now, how about if we do, before we close up shop for the day, how about if we do some dot, dot, dot flowers, huh? I think we should do that. I'm going into, we've got all this nice yellow here, and that was this cad yellow, and I'm going to just move over one to the lemon yellow and put some lemon yellow. I've got the number 2 Princeton, and let's make some dots. 3 dots, right? 1, 2, 3. Rinse, dab, dab. Pull out a petal. Pull out a petal. Pull out a petal. Okay. And going back into that same yellow, we'll do a dot, dot, dot. Yep, I'm going right on top of that. Doesn't matter. Dab, dab. Pull out a petal. Some of these might be a little bit harder to see than others. I'm adding just a tiny bit of pigment to my brush. And here, right over the rose, yes.
Carver's running and making evening coffee for people.
Yay.
Time in Finland is 21:01.
So that is 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
We have an international crowd. Okay, I'm going to do a dot, dot, dot right in here. Dot, dot, dot. Rinse, dry. I've got water on the ferrule. Knock that off. Okay. Back to this one. Pigment, dot, dot, dot. Rinse, dab, dab. And there we go. And there we go. Huh. What do you know? All right. I'm grabbing just a little bit more of that cad lemon and a little bit of water. And dot, dot, dot. Rinse. Dab, dab on the paper towel. Good. One more. Rinsed my brush, picking up pigment. Dot, dot, dot. There we go. Rinse. Dab, dab on the paper towel. And I'm going to add a little more pigment. And there we go. Okay, I am going to take some of this color that we used earlier, and it's kind of an orangey color. I'm going to add to it just 1 or 2 sweeps into that English red. There we go. And now I'm going to just put dots in a circle. Dry my brush, go back into the pigment. What about that? Back into the, now right here is a very wet petal. So I'm just going to take a dry brush and pick up some of that wetness. But now it still may run, I don't care. There we go. Nice. Now, I'm going into this. This right here is, they call it sepia. To me, it looks like a burnt sienna. And I'm going to put another row of circle right in there. Right in there. And one more time. Good. Let those rest a minute. And I'm going to go into, I'm going to take this yellow that we made the flowers. I'm going into what they call flame red. This is a pumpkin orange as far as I'm concerned. And I've got a color mixed up. Here's the other brush that I was telling you about. Getting it wet, another liner brush, but I'll show you. See the difference? You know, each brush, then this is a 2/0, and I believe that's what this one is. But you can see that I wanted those longer bristles. And I'm just going into that orange color that we just made. And I am not going for perfect. I am just gonna basically outline these petals just to give them a little oomph. And I'm gonna put some lines coming out of the center. A little more pigment, same thing. And you know, when you're doing a live like this, I can't edit it. You're just seeing it just like when I sit down and start to paint. And a few lines right near the center. And we've got one more. Here we go. So let Robin know in the comments when I do another live, and I'll do another one. Let me know what it would be like that you would like to see. Maybe you'd like to see me do one of those magazine collages with prompts. Those are fun, aren't they? Hilarious. We'd have a good laugh, I can tell you that. Okay, I'm going to make just a few, going back to the number 2 brush, going into this green, water, and I'm going to go into what they call just green. And I am going to just make a leaf. Look, water on the ferrule. Just make a leaf to go with the yellow flowers. I'm not worrying about stems. I'm not worried about anything else. Just a couple of different leaves. All right.
Debbie and Susie say that you don't need to edit it.
Ah, yeah. Well, you know, put on the good glasses, girls. Put on the good glasses. Now, I am taking a wet brush. I'm going into my clean water. You know that I have 2 water buckets, a clean and a used. And my brush is going to be pretty wet. And I'm just taking the water and filling in those rinse and just like going in a circle right where those centers are. And that's going to be the centers. That's it. I'm not doing any more with those. Okay, now I'm reaching behind me. And let's get our friends the Poscas. And this is a white Posca. And I am just going to go in and I am just going to give a very few, once in a while, a little white highlight. Can you even see them? Let's get the white to go just a little bit stronger.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yay.
Kim says so pretty. Shirley says what a lovely bouquet.
Oh, thank you. Okay, this white pen is just not doing it for me. Let's try this one. That's why we got redundancy. Let's see. Now this one's probably going to make like white snow. Oh yeah, look. Now, that's what we're talking about. That's what we paid the big money for. There we go. See, doesn't that white just give it a little something? Put a little white. See, now this one has white. This one has white. This one doesn't. And I think there's a noticeable difference.
I'm asking them what they'd like to see the next live.
That's right. What do you guys want to see for the next live? What are we going to make? And let's just move this over. Here's where we started. Can you see, or do I have to do it this way?
A little bit to the, it's your right. Oh, so pretty.
Yay. All right, well, please remember some thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and then you'll know when I'm going to go live again. If you come back with comments, or you guys know how to get hold of me, let me know what you want to see for another live stream. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye, you guys.